Welcome to another episode of Assertiveness, the show that gives ordinary South Africans a space to talk about things that really matter. Today's episode, we're going to be discussing student movements and the power of students, whether or not it exists, especially in the wake of what has just happened in South Africa with fees must fall. Hashtag, the cause was really not to have fees being increased or for free education. Hashtag fees must fall was just on social media. But the reality is that the students, with the support of corporates and people who are working, or alumni, whatever you may want to call it, they got government to listen. So now the question is the student movement that powerful? Can the student movement bring change to South Africa or current South Africa? I'm joined in studio by three lovely ladies. They're going to introduce themselves because we don't want to stand at a position of assuming we know who you are and we know everything about you. We're going to start with you, Cecilia. You're going to tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, what do you do, and let's do something quirky. Let's give us a pickup line as you're closing for your introduction. Go.
Okay, my name is Cecilia Mushala, and originally from Bushbuckridge.
Oh, hi!
And I'm from a journalism background, okay. And last year I joined in the digital industry, and I specifically joined in the social media community management. So right now I'm in that space, and I'm working in Bryanston as a social media community manager. So I'm still practicing because there's so much to learn in that space, and yeah, that's basically what I do on a daily basis.
And a pickup line?
A pickup line?
Yes, one that you would use on a guy. You guys better start thinking. Something fun and quirky, like, did you fall out of the sky? Because you must be an angel. That's so lame. But it works.
That is very lame.
Yeah, I can say what I want, lame or not. And you better laugh through it. Okay.
Okay. A pickup line that I can say has been really used on me. Not really, but I've heard a lot. Like a lot of guys has used this pickup line on me was, you must be tired because you've been running through my mind all day. So I feel like, okay, what have I been doing?
Are you sure? So good. I'm so glad that you are here and you come from the social media background or side of things, because you can tell us, because I feel like the power of some of the things that we are actively trying to push, it's always on social media as opposed to it being in reality, you know. Like, it's always like at school you do theory and then you do practice. We're doing a lot of theory on social media, but we'll come back to that. Madam?
My name is Masuo. I am a final year student in sociology and politics at Wits. I'm also a Mellon Mays undergraduate fellow.
What, sorry?
Mellon Mays undergraduate
What's that?
fellow. So it's sort of a US developed branch that has come to South Africa, and what they do is that they scout for final year students from 3 universities in the country. That's UCT, UWC, and Wits. Those 5 students then go on to pursue cutting edge research, like sort of they train you to enter the world of academia.
So it's almost like the Nelson Mandela Fellowship.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you are a Wits final year student in sociology and politics.
Yes.
Okay.
And so my research things that I'm really passionate about are the feminist movement and space.
Safa.
Yeah.
Feminist.
So yes,
Ooh,
definitely, proudly. I'm very interested in the black female body and how it is that we reclaim spaces, because we haven't had it to begin with. So that for me also I think has been a very important part of the movement.
Wait, hold up. You are passionate about the black female body.
Yes.
And
how it occupies space that we need to be reclaiming, because we haven't had it to begin with.
You know what? Had I heard you out of context, which I kind of think processed in my head out of context of what you actually said, and I heard I'm obsessed with the black female body, and I was like, okay, no, I hear what you're saying. I fully understand what you're saying. Okay, a pickup line.
Pickup line.
One that's been used on you.
I cannot think of pickup lines.
Do you use pickup lines?
No.
Why not?
I don't use.
That's a very strong
no. I'm very The thing is, I think for me, patriarchy is a big thing. Careful. Careful. Like you need to be able to stop that sexism in its tracks.
Oh gosh.
So I'm there.
How do you flirt? I don't. You don't flirt. Do you believe in relationships?
I do believe in relationships, but also I believe in a type of fluidity that is associated with that. And fluid, not in the sense that it's an open relationship per se, but the terms of the relationships aren't necessarily rooted in societal norms. And
so we're not about to connect that far. You don't want to have that connection that is down here.
Already pickup lines are just an absolute no-no.
Yeah. Okay. Ainsley. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm great, thanks.
I'm Alicia.
Okay.
I'm a psychology student at UJ. I'm second year. And I'm planning on branching into neuropsychology. Well, clinical neuropsychology. And yeah, that's just me. I'm really interested in...
But she's there saying, yes, women are moving into that field. Yes.
Yeah, I'm really interested in the mind, like the brain. I just like...
on a biological level and not necessarily the beauty of thinking and processing.
All of that.
Okay.
All of that. I like psychoanalyzing people. It's so interesting. Like, it is. It's very interesting. I sit there and I look at you and I'm like,
Please don't psychoanalyze.
I do that quite a lot. Yeah, and I'm just really interested in that. And yeah, and I'm pickup line. Whew.
And when you just recently got into a relationship, so what pickup line did he use?
He didn't use any pickup line, but pickup lines that I usually get are, your dad must be Osama bin Laden, because baby, you're the bomb.
Oh no! Wow! Oh, wow! Okay. Now, obviously, with the rise of what's been happening in South Africa, taking in mind the mere fact that the student organization movement has been there, do you guys believe now do we have power at all? Do the students have power? Do they have influence? Do they have impact? Can they make change in South Africa? Evanna. Dololo, lancheba. Is my English difficult? What's going on now? Yeah, tell me, I need to get an understanding of whether or not this is a phase, it will pass, or is it a start of something big?
I don't think it's a phase at all. Okay. I think for the first time in a long time, especially in post-apartheid South Africa, we're having sort of a national movement. We had Roads Must Fall, we saw that. But also the thing about it is Roads Must Fall was also sort of happening in isolation. It's not like all other universities mobilized in their masses to come together and say, we actually need to talk about decolonizing this institution. And for the first time, I think it's when I remember reading an article about Black consciousness and BCO, and it was saying that, why is it so relevant now? And it's only because our narratives have been silenced, because we're told to be grateful for the positions that we're brought up in. When in actual fact, when you look at the institution, you start to realize that there's a systematic oppression that happens in these institutions. And I think now more than ever, we're awake. And we're saying we're not going to stop. And although there's examination stress, we know that we all need to be writing. We're all strategizing. All universities are focused on writing. But believe you me, we're meeting, especially at WITS, every Thursday, 5 o'clock. If you come to that meeting, you'll find us at Solomon Mahlango House. And we'll be strategizing about what do we do with the funds that we have left over, right? What do we do when we come back? What happens when we're done writing exams? And those are the conversations that we're having. So I don't think this is going to stop. I think this is a revolution, and what we're striving for is sort of a communication between the powers that be and the student body to say, listen, we need to liaise with each other. We need to listen to each other so you can take our concerns seriously, you know? And so I think that it's not a phase. I don't think it's a phase. I think it's something. We're going strong. Like, I think we're only getting stronger. We may have lost numbers, but then again, there's also that conflict between I need to focus on my exams and I need to be a comrade, I need to be part of this revolution, but I think we're growing stronger every day.
But are you guys fighting for the same cause? Because it almost feels a bit disconnected for me. Like, I watched it, I was part of it, I was there supporting, we did what we could do, you know, in sponsoring water, all that stuff. But my question is, it felt a little disconnected, you know, like it felt like some people were in conversation of what you guys had agreed on were far more advanced or progressed than others. Because if you arrived there and you spoke to different students, I'm not talking about when we were all at the union buildings, when you spoke to different students, you kind of got the sense that these people are not on the same page. So now my question is it not then not easy to destabilize the movement if you guys as a body are not on the same page? Hence why I'm asking, I want to understand the actual power. Where is the power line? Because with any movement, power lies either within a certain number of hands, or it either lies in with everybody else. Where first and foremost, question still stands. Is it powerful? You said yes, it's not a phase, but is it powerful? Is it enough to make change in South Africa? Then secondly, why is there a disconnection? Because surely we should all be fighting for the same cause. What is going on? Why is there a disconnection? And then thirdly, I forgot my third question. So you guys must answer the first two questions because lanlatha. So let's go.
Powerful. I'd say it is very powerful.
Okay.
It's very powerful. I mean, I always tell people that history repeats itself. Look at 1976 and look at 2015. After how long did this happen? After how long did people decide that we're sick and tired and we need to voice out our opinions, we need to speak, we need to be heard? I think it is powerful, to be honest. I do. Saying that people have a different cause, fighting for a different cause, I'd say that that's kind of true because first of all, it started at WITS with fee increment must fall. Yeah. It started at WITS. That's where it started. Then other universities were like alerted. They were like, oh, hey, yes, it must. Because
well, it didn't start at WITS necessarily. It started at UKZN a few months ago.
Yes, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
And then universities started getting in. And then when people weren't getting that fee increment must fall, then they started being like, actually, fees must fall. Do you understand? And I was like, okay, we fight for one thing, we get one thing right now. Why do we want to then move on and try and get a whole arm? Do you understand?
Well, look, and there's a mere fact of what happens in 2017. We've gotten fees to fall, or fee increment to fall for 2016. But
I also think with structures like SASCO, let's take SASCO for instance. I also think with structures like that, people, to me, the way I perceived it was like people wanted the whole thing to be under their names.
Oh, so it was the claiming of
power.
Yes.
It was claiming that it happened under my name. It happened under my leadership. And that's not what we're hoping to achieve. It's not that. We're all hoping to achieve free quality education for everyone. Not to say, I made history.
So the disconnect from the cause that people were fighting for, you feel came from the mere fact that it was being hijacked.
I want this, I want that.
Okay.
I just really think...
Was it also not excitement? Did people not fight for, not really knowing what they're fighting for?
I think that's what happens in the process of conscientizing people.
Okay.
I realized, I think, 2 weeks later that there were so many other things, but the umbrella thing was this fees thing.
Yeah.
But then what happened is that every time we sang, every time we met, we started realizing that actually we were angry.
That's what I want to touch on. Yeah.
Actually, and I think that's very important because the priority was fees must fall, and we get that. But then we started realizing, guys, let's talk about decolonizing course packs. You know, when you're in the humanities, I mean, you know what it feels like to learn about Africa from a white man's perspective and to hate it.
Because pressing a button though, like.
But listen, this is what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
In the process of conscientizing just the students, yeah. I think what happens is we end up having conflicting ideas. Yes. Because certain things don't affect everyone. Then we have individualistic people, then we have people that think collectively. Yeah. That's where the conflict starts. And I think for us at WITS, what we really did try to do, this thing of political parties, what I will commend the student body for doing was working together in such like close solidarity. I think for the first 2 weeks, we didn't necessarily have a thing of, oh, this is EFF, this is PYA, this is... It was so beautiful, but it became about that.
Yeah, no, it definitely did.
About advancing political careers. It became about the contact that we had from political parties into... And that was problematic, because what we said is that we don't want iconic figures. Because I feel like that's what happened with apartheid. We end up forgetting the history and worshipping the people. That's problematic. It's not about that. It's not about any party or whatever. But I do think that priorities did get a bit... the first thing was excitement, because we didn't anticipate it. We woke up one morning, we said we're going to occupy. It became a, whoa, shut down.
Okay, just hold it there. We're gonna go for a quick ad break. When we come back, I want to talk about that excitement. Cecilia, I feel like people got excited. You know, we know black people. Black people get excited. You say, Masambeni, Bayangena, they there because it's exciting. But when you come now down to the core of what are you fighting for, as if I had to ask 10 students today to say, stand there and explain to me what it is that you're fighting for, I'm gonna get a blank. Yeah, for fees must fall or free education. But people don't really understand the magnitude of the demand that they're making. So let's go for a quick ad break. When we come back, we're going to start right there. That excitement. Hey, we're exciting, man.